I am Tiffany Longino, a resident of Brandon, Mississippi, a Jackson State University graduate, a PhD candidate from Mississippi State University in the Department of Instructional Systems and Workforce Development. My husband, Brandon Longino, he's on the side. We're raising our children with the principles of do unto others as you want done to you. I would like to recognize the Neshoba County Fair for putting this event together. I also would like to welcome the Neshoba County residents. And I would also like to acknowledge any elected officials here today. So welcome. 3 things that I'm going to discuss today: education development, economic development, and healthcare reform. As you all are aware, nationally, we're ranked in education number 41. Some reasons for that: we have not funded the Mississippi Adequate Education Program since 2003 and 2007. As you all know, education decreases poverty and education decreases crime. So why would we not fully fund the Mississippi Adequate Education Program? If elected as your next Lieutenant Governor, I would advocate for a dual curriculum that would allow high school students to select from a liberal arts education and a vocational trade. For so many years, society has shunned away from a vocational trade. As you all see now, we need engineers, we need mechanics, we need truck drivers. Our economy has taken a shift, and so do we. I will also advocate for pathways from high schools to 2-year institutions, where the students decide they want to receive their GED, whether they decide they want to receive a 2-year degree or a 4-year degree. Ronald Reagan stated, everyone has to get something. All of our teachers in the state of Mississippi did not receive a pay raise. Only K through 12 teachers received a pay raise. I will ensure that college instructors also receive a pay raise. Out of 90 days in our legislation session, it took 57 days for lawmakers to start whispering about fully funding our education. Again, we're number 41 nationally in education. Education is a vital key in any one community. It's the vital key in any growing economic future endeavor. We must invest in our education system. I want to tell you all that we're ranked nationally number 49 in healthcare. We are an unhealthy state. 68% experience healthcare affordability burden, being uninsured at high premium costs. 32% of Mississippians skip dental care. 43% suffer from high blood pressure. So can you all tell me why would we not expand Medicaid? If elected your next Lieutenant Governor, I will advocate for the expansion of Medicaid. I will make sure that everyone has accessible, equity, and high-performing Medicaid. When we think about health care, we shouldn't just think it's for the rich. Health care is for everyone. We have those certain special situations where everyone cannot afford health care. However, every citizen in Mississippi must contribute to our health care system. Now, one thing that I will change, if you do not use it, you will lose it. But you will have the benefit to reapply again. We will not raise taxes on hardworking middle-class citizens. Everyone will be responsible for taxes. Don't be misled about wanting to cut the income tax or the grocery tax. I want you to think about it like this, Mississippians. If you cut the income tax, if you cut the grocery tax, where is that revenue going to come from? Keep in mind that we're not Texas. We're not California, and we're not Florida. We're Mississippi. Our highest revenue, as you heard Andy Gibson say, which by the way is doing a great job, our agriculture is the highest revenue in the state of Mississippi. So let's find funding. Agriculture, we bring in $9.7 billion. Let's find funding. I will find funding. I will reallocate funding from agriculture so that we can cut the grocery tax. But legislation and lawmakers, we have to have a plan. We're not just going to say we're going to do something and not have a vital plan coming behind it. Also with healthcare, I will advocate for price transparency. When you go into a doctor's office, when you go into the emergency room, when you go into a hospital, we need to see the prices. I will advocate for transparency in bill prices. We need to know how much we will be paying. I will also advocate that Medicaid will be able to negotiate prices. We need to see that. We need to see what we need to set aside for a rainy day. I want to talk about the economy next. We're number 49 in the economy. We have what you call gross domestic product, which is GDP. The gross and the revenue is what we bring in locally, what we put out. We grossed $104.53 billion. Economics say in order to have a growing economy, we must sustain 2.5 to 3.5. You want to know what Mississippi rate is? 1.5. We're not growing. You know why we're not growing? Again, inequities in education, inequities in health care, inequities with economic disparities, inequities with no job market. We still have people that's making lower than others. Has nothing to do with sex, gender, race, socioeconomic statuses. My plan, we also have revenue for power. Let's get together and privatize some energy companies. You know we have the biggest one down here at on the side of Port Gibson. Privatize. When you have cheap energy, that's when your infrastructure grows. Some things that I will fight for. Clear the way for large private electrical generations, as I stated. This will supply inexpensive, dependable merchant power. I will make sure that our education and workforce development skills training grow by the economy. We're not going to raise taxes on Mississippians. We have Tesla that's in Brandon. We have Amazon. We have Walmart that has the most employees in the state of Mississippi. I'm not going to raise taxes on these corporations either, but we'll adjust the contributions that they bring to Mississippi. Ronald Reagan stated, any man, any woman, any child that contributes to taxes is the shareholder for Mississippi. People ask me all the time, why didn't you start at the local level? Because what I want to do will have to come from state level. Don't equate experience with effectiveness. Judge me by my character, my integrity, my transparency. I'm going to tell you this story, and I'm going to leave you with this. I lost my father July 1st. My father taught me the true definition of work ethics. He taught me that if you want something in life, you have to go get it. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm coming after the position of lieutenant governor. My father, when he passed away, he retired from one job only to be working another one. We have educators, state workers, federal workers, middle-class people, that when the inflation goes up, our pension and our retirement stays down or decrease. That's not the way you treat people. You pay people higher wages. That way they can keep their retirement, that they don't have to struggle and wondering where the next penny or check is coming from. My father lived in Minnesota, but he had gone up to Minnesota when he went to work and told people in Minnesota to vote for me. So you did what my father said do. So I'm asking you, listen to my father. And on August 8th, I'm asking for your vote. Tiffany Longino, your next Lieutenant Governor. Thank you, and you all stay cool.